Hey everyone, this is my devlog. What I realised is yesterday, quite late, I was looking at games jams to see what games jams were working. I found out that the GM48 was running, and the theme was two sides. I decided to take part last minute. I think it actually already started by the time I realised. I thought about it for a little bit before I went to bed. Ended up deciding that I probably would take part because recently I have been working on Game Maker for where I work. It's like a college, and I develop stuff for that college. Now going on from this, I came up with a quick idea of two sides, thinking that basically because I normally make tower defense games for work, it shouldn't be too difficult for me to like modify a tower defense game to be something slightly interesting. Going on from that, came up with this sort of scenario. See if I can open up my rooms thing. There's my rooms tab. Okay, 1 second. Weird. Set layout, that should work. So yeah, I've got some layers that I put together on this. What I've got is I've got this tile set. I got this from Humble Bundle ages ago. I think I've got that on one of my tabs. So you can see that I've owned these. I've got these ones from Humble Bundle themselves. I'm using this one from this website. I'm currently using that thing there. I shrunk it down a little bit to fit my what I was actually working with, but I feel like I might upscale it later on because I'm really not that happy with how shrunk down it looks. But for now, it's kind of something that is a little bit pretty that I can look at while I'm working on it. I managed to condense it into a tile set, all kind of connected like this, through messing around with it in Photoshop to kind of fit it, because otherwise it was importing them as individual tiles, and that would be an absolute nightmare to use in Game Maker, so I converted it into a strip. Probably spent a bit too much time doing that, really. I developed a few objects. Just run my game real quickly just so you can sort of see what's going on or what I've been experimenting with. Nothing too major. Assuming it didn't break it somehow. Oh, probably broken it. Oh, I turned off some layers. Whoops. Let's turn off the restricted layer and try that again. What I've got here is I've got two spawners and I've got two colors that are kind of coming across here. The things that you can see on the screen, I've kind of called them travelers for now. What they are basically in a MOBA, I guess, like the sort of units that go along the path. What you can notice if I rerun it is I was messing around with controlling the speed of the travelers on the path. So they come out kind of slow and then they speed up and then they slow down. That was just me experimenting to see if I can manipulate their speed as they're traveling along. Both of these two objects are the same, and how I've currently got them set up is I'm using the variables thing here to basically say how many I want to spawn, how much time between the spawn delays, what path they should be following, and a color to set onto the travelers. And then I've got this little bit in here which is going through showing basically setting them up so that they follow the correct paths. The travelers themselves, just for this little experiment I was doing, I've currently got this code in here which is basically speeding them up and slowing them down, but other than that they really don't really have anything too important inside them. And this only other object that I've got in here is this restricted thing. I'm hoping to put towers into it. My idea is that I want them so the enemies move along here, or the travelers move along here and here, from both players, or player versus AI at least. As they go along this path, I'm hoping that you can have it so that if you're kind of killing off these guys, they have a reduced spawn rate. I mean, sorry, the winning side has a reduced spawn rate, whereas the losing side has an increased spawn rate. So it kind of helps battle here. And I was also thinking with the towers themselves, it's just when you put them down on the actual route, to have them so that so that basically the further along the tower you put on this, along this path, the more expensive it is. So the attacking player, if they're winning, it should cost them a lot more resources to try and put down towers closer to the enemy base. Whereas the defending player can put down lots of towers to sort of reduce that effect. And to try and see how that goes. Will need some balancing, but what I'm hoping for, it will be kind of somewhat interesting to play, and it will kind of reflect on the fact that there's two sides happening and that kind of stuff. I also want the towers so that they can't shoot across the map. So there's like if I put this back on here, there's like a restriction part, which I'm going to have it so that you can put towers on this bit here, in this non-restricted part, and they can't shoot beyond this. So if you get a good tower in a good opportunity position here, they might be able to shoot quite far, but it's going to be a little bit limited. I'm not completely happy with the way that this path layout is set up at the moment. I think this is just pretty much for test purposes, and I'll redesign the map and make everything look way cooler once I've got a lot more of the mechanics down. Anyway, it's currently 1 o'clock for me. I started messing around with it roughly around 10 o'clock, but that involved sort of getting myself ready and woken up and having a shower and having a real good think about what I want to make. Quite a chunk of this so far was messing around with the tile set to cut the tile set to look pretty and to have this stuff look less uniform. Although I think because I shrunk down the tile set, it's kind of hard to see the path kind of all looks samey anyway. But you can see that there's different patches and variations in the mud that's around. So it wasn't that important, but it was kind of like, one of those things where you spend a lot more time getting inspired about something rather than actually doing it. So I've only really been cranking the programming for about the last hour. Anyway, I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm going to go and make myself some breakfast, have a little bit of a think, and come back and start programming. I should probably do another devlog probably before 6 p.m, hopefully. Hopefully got a lot more substantial stuff. Anyway, that was just a quick update. I'm going to go for now.